Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back to 1 HP Expert Softcore. We're continuing our run. Did we fight? I think we fought Skeletron tonight, didn't we? I want to say we did. Do I smoke heroin? I thought you were supposed to inject heroin. You're supposed to inject heroin, right? Wait, or is that? There's very little difference between heroin and crack, right? They're very similar. Sorry. Hi, welcome to Terraria. Where I'll talk about anything. You smoke heroin through a crack pipe? Are you wait? But don't you smoke crack through a crack pipe? I don't know anything about drugs. Draco, what's up, man? How you doing today, Steven? Good to see you. How's life? How are things? What are we gonna do today? We need to check our to-do list. As long as it isn't a burden, isn't a burden, right? Right, support is a lot different than infantry, for sure. You can do both through a pipe? How do you guys know so much about heroin? You can also chase the dragon? Wait, chase the dragon? I thought that was in reference to marijuana. Have you ever tried speed? No, I have not. Is that nice? Does it make you go fast? Maybe I need to do speed and then do a speed run. Is that reasonable? Or is that, like, not what speed does? Hey, Leader, what's up? How you doing today? For some reason, I just assume speed is like jet in Fallout, where you go and take the jet, and then time slows down, and that's it. It just fucking. But it can't. It's probably not the case, right? Oh, Baby Red didn't like you, Jojo. I don't know why. Funfish. Probably speed doesn't really make you much faster. Probably just makes you freaked out. I assume it's like. Similar to the effects of Adderall, maybe, on some people. Ooh, wow, 5 crate. So some people get really focused when they have Adderall, and some people lose their flippin' minds when they have Adderall, from what I understand. So is it like that? Is speed basically Adderall? You posted a link, apparently, yeah. Yeah, put a data after that one. That's what it was. Okay, let's go check our objectives on our little board here. What we got to do? It's going to ramp out as well. Oh, shoot, I don't have my death counter. I'm so sorry. Grab that real fast. Okay. All right, cool. We might have missed some deaths. Please just keep updating me if I've missed any deaths. So Planetary Farm is almost done. Let me get some mud here. And we'll go and finish that Planetary arena. Because, oh, I had some mud already. Okay. I need the leaf boots. Okay, I do have them. Would you guys like Terraria? You're really being worthwhile so the people in MOS are so important that the cost of, yeah, it's still effective for the amount of work we can put in. Yeah, that's why it's not such a simple issue. It's not just as cut and dry as that. Like your job depends. Like so many things. It's having a conversation about transgenders in the military is an in-depth thing that, I mean, you really should have a doctor on hand, honestly, who's well acquainted with transgenderism in order to have a good idea of what the effects are and what the cost would be. And I mean, to compare that to the efficiency and based on the MOS, and it's such a big thing. I'm not sure what the generals of the army and stuff like that have to say about transgenderism, but I suspect that they want to be pragmatic on the situation. They want to just have as much fighting force as possible, because that's what I would like. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me, so long as we're effective. The U.S. military should be fucking scary. Everyone should be afraid of it. It shouldn't be. That's all we would. That's all I want. To be powerful. Chasing the dragon refers to addiction. Chasing the dragon is when you do a drug for the first time and have an amazing experience. Then continue using the drug, trying to achieve the same feeling. I see. Maybe I was getting confused with Puff the Magic Dragon or something like that. I've never heard that before, Matthew. Matthew, how many types of drugs have you been addicted to in your life? Out of curiosity. America spends around $606 billion on the army every year. So I hear that, Zen, but I think that for me in particular, and probably other people too, hearing that number means very little. Like 606 billion. How much is that in relation to other things? Sort of hard to know. The numbers are too large to get a good idea of what that means. So just hearing that number, should that be surprising? Oh, that's a lot of money. Is it a lot of money? One more than 605 billion. Yeah, exactly. Is it really? Like, what are other countries spending on their military budget? Are we spending too much? Too little? Maybe. I mean, I want to be #1 military force on the planet. That's like that's the place to be at, right? There you go, Sagan. What's up, man? Oh gosh. But how much money gets spent efficiently? Right. Yeah. So are we? Is that money? Oh, fuck. Is it money being used well? Show something death ad. Is it money being used poorly? Is the effect of the money helping the economy? Like, there's a lot that goes into the whole budget thing. But I mean, I guess I shouldn't say budget because I don't know that America's had a good budget for a long time. Though I don't know. I hear bad things, but I do remember having days where it was like, hey, go home. We can't pay you while in the military. So yeah, a big sum total of 0 drugs. Oh, okay. I've worked with addicts before. Okay, what were you doing that you were working with addicts? Out of curiosity. Yeah, here you go. Okay, this is going to be an artificial jungle biome. I think I probably made it a little bit too big. Yeah, I kind of messed this up, didn't I? Let me get it back out. Right, and there's lots of different branches as well, and they all do different things. They're all useful for different things. They all have different trainings. Oh, God. That was scary. God dang it. I need to get some more arrows. Who doesn't like some drugs? I never want drugs to be a sore topic. I hope they're not. Because drug addiction is a real thing that plagues lots of people all over the world. And having a phobia of talking about drugs is something that I dislike because it turns those people's lives into a phobia. And that is a problem for me. Then those people are shunned, basically. Like, I don't really like how the United States deals with drugs. I much more prefer Portugal's stance on drugs that they've especially adopted recently because of their massive drug issues. I think that's a lot better way to do it. Ah, crap. We're trying to do in a game. I would like to beat all the bosses, Kill the Corn. All the bosses. That's all I want. I just want to beat all the bosses. This is a hard game. I played it a little bit before, but I'm not very good at it. Yeah, by not talking about a problem is never fix anything. That's something that I try to keep as a personal philosophy go. That if you're unwilling to have a conversation about something, if you're gonna make something a taboo, you're never gonna fix it. You're never gonna help with it. I try to keep that as a personal thing. So I always want to have any topic of conversation open. Not necessarily always, but often. Crap. Sorry, Zen. Yeah, careful with the links. This is like a pie chart of expenditure on. Wait, this is sort of incomplete. Oh yeah, Kurzazgats. Yeah, I love that channel. It's a great channel. I did ask, but were you given permission? Can we get an extra point permit for Zen? So you can post his link. It's just a pie chart with no context, actually. Yeah, I need to buy some more arrows. Just burning through arrows in this. Maybe I should get some calming potions. Yeah, Kurgat's videos are pretty great. I watch them from time to time. From Tim to Tim. It's raining. The pie chart, they don't hurt people. Oh, I think pie charts do hurt people, though. Okay? Depends on my feelings. All right? You don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know if a pie chart has abused me at one point. Okay? You need to be considerate. Fishing, I guess I don't really need sonar potions. Sonar potions are good, though. I maintain that. Okay? Change my mind. But you could bash someone's face in with a pie chart. Exactly. Kurtzgesacht? Thank you, Red. Oh. I will forget that, Red, and if you can remind me again, that'd be great. Hey, Big Double Cheeseburger XL. How you doing today? It's good to see you. Guys, I was so sick yesterday. I was so sick. I only did enough about you yesterday. I wanted to do more streaming yesterday. I'm kind of glad I didn't. Well, no, actually, just kidding. If I wasn't sick, I wish I had done more. But since I was sick, I just took the day off, basically. Call him Kurt. Aha, there you go, Johnny Crackhead. I should call him Kurt. My uncle who works for Nintendo was fired by a pie chart. Fucking triggered. Hey, Ashley. I was so sick yesterday. I was It was the double fountain. Okay, the double fountain. Call him Kerr? Oh, but then I like calling him Kurt. It's better. But can I say, will you be mad at me if I call him Kurt, T? It's a German word meaning knowledge of the world. Oh, that's cool. That's a great name. What was this? National priorities. Yeah. You guys can click on that probably if you want. It's always nice to look at these kind of things. Look at the spending for each country, get an idea of it. So at some point, I think that we're going to have a world government, but I hope that we maintain a sort of individual state system. Like, so think of like the European Union, and they have their countries inside them, and it's very similar to the United States, as the United States federal government is more powerful than the European overseeing body. The countries in the EU can, for example, withdraw from the EU if they want. If they try to do that shit in America, they'll get stomped, which has happened before. Texas actually, at one point in its existence in the Union, had a clause that said it could leave if it wanted to, but then it lost a war, so it can't anymore. Something like that, Red, where it's the Confederated Countries of the Earth, right? So like we all group together, and we can all kind of agree on some things, like mass murdering people is bad. I think most people in general agree that killing people is a bad thing to do. Not everybody agrees that killing people is a bad thing to do. Some people think killing people is okay. And I'm not knocking those people, but I personally feel like you don't ever really solve anything by killing anybody. I live in Texas. It's one of the states in the United States that has the death penalty still. I don't know how you guys feel about the death penalty, but I actually am not really for the death penalty. And that sort of reverse what most people in Texas think. But for me, punishing someone is about getting them to do the right thing. It's not about the punishment so much. Like, I'm much more for a quick and painful punishment than I am for like a long-term punishment. For example, like if someone breaks a law, I think it would be okay to whip them, for example. I know that sounds nuts to give them corporal punishment. Hey, Zavano, how you doing today? So, like, if someone were to spend a year in prison for their crime, and they're like, you know what, I don't really want to spend a year in prison for my crime. Can I get 6 lashes? I would be okay with something like that. Permanently scarring them with lashes, sure, that sucks. But at least they come back into the society and maybe can fix their shit, Yeah, that's not that bad. I think I'd rather take 6 lashes. Ooh, shit, I don't know. Than a year? I don't know. It is barbaric. I agree, Cheese. I feel like that is punish me, daddy. Nice penguin emote there too, Killer Corn. It is sort of we've advanced as a society where we don't want to spank our children or spank anybody really. But sometimes a quick and intense punishment is better than a drawn out punishment. Like an 18-year-old, fresh 18-year-old commits a crime, and what we do then, we send them to a juvenile detention facility, right? Which puts them around other juveniles who's also committed crimes and sort of exacerbates the problem of them committing crimes. I would rather give them a spanking, metaphorically or literally, I suppose, in the form of lashes, and that's it. All right, don't do it again. Next time you do it, actual jail time for you, and then you can go to the penitentiary, right? Then you can go to the juvenile detention facility. Maybe that would reduce the amount of people who are in prison over fairly minor crimes, Maybe it wouldn't be effective. I feel like it would be. If there was a crime that was like, hey, you're going to get 6 lashes if you do this. Jeez, man. Prison is so unsuccessful at reforming people. I'm not sure about the statistics of reformation, but I have the understanding that when you get put into a certain system, it's easy to just continue in that system rather than break from the system. So the first time you go to jail, you're inexperienced with jail. The second time you go to jail, oh, hey, Johnny, what's up, man? It's good to see you again. Sort of causes a problem, Like, you're comfortable at jail now? No, Nani? What is that? Wait, what? You were not... You committed a crime so you could come back? But wait, prison was supposed to re-educate you to be a successful citizen so you can contribute to the country. Oh, that seems wrong. So, yeah, I mean, I have that feeling about jail. Like, I've sort of seen that already. And there's definitely been cases of people literally committing crimes to go back to jail. So it's Yeah. So the prisons in Sweden are very interesting. I don't know if you guys heard about this. Prisons in Sweden are like daycares almost, where you're in prison. There's no walls or anything. You're in this building. If you break some rules, you get punished. You have to be back at a certain curfew. You can go get McDonald's if you want. They're prisons, not as the way like the American system is. They're very different, and those prison systems are effective apparently as far as the reported statistics from Sweden. The reformation rates are much higher. Their repeated offensive rates are much lower. In fact, parole, it's basically parole is what it is. The American system has you can be let out on parole. Basically, you did a crime, you got punished, you got sentenced to prison, but because of your good behavior, you can be put on parole, which is you're still a criminal. If you break another law, you go back to jail, but you can walk around, you can get a job, stuff like that. And that's what the Swedish system really takes that to an extreme. Sup time. Hey, Ox, how you doing, man? That seems effective. That the repeat rates of crimes are lower in Sweden than they are in America. Of course, I do think that Sweden is much smaller and therefore has a lot less crime and a lot less organized crime. Meanwhile, the United States has specific drug rings from things like Mexico, in particular, kind of exacerbating situations in the United States. Drug-related crime is huge in the U.S. and the cost of police and like our government, the cost of police to fight against the drug crime is also extreme, and it's sort of like this. This is why I like the Portugal stance on drugs, where everything is decriminalized, and if just because you have some drugs on you doesn't mean you can go to jail for it necessarily. If you're high on heroin, you're not breaking the law. Well, you're doing it. You are if you're breaking it. If you're high in public, I suppose. Public intoxication is not allowed anywhere. Even if you just so a lot of people don't know this, but if you're at the square, which is a term that I don't know if you guys have heard that before, like an area that you go to in the city that has a bunch of like restaurants and stuff or bars and stuff. Oh, sorry, there's some green here. I'm gonna have to fix this real fast. If you're at the square and you walk out of a bar and you're drunk, you can be arrested. You can be arrested. You can just be taken to jail immediately. Doesn't matter if you have any alcohol on you or anything like that. Doesn't even matter if you smell like alcohol. If you just look drunk, the police officer determines that you're drunk, you can be arrested for public intoxication. Probably you're just going to spend 24 hours or maybe 12 hours in a jail cell. Not even a jail cell. I guess it's just a jail cell. Just at the place that you got arrested, and they're going to send you anywhere else. But I mean, that is a thing. So being, for example, high on weed, which is a lot harder to prove, I guess. I feel like every time I've spotted someone who is drunk, they smell like alcohol. It's kind of hard not to smell like alcohol if you've been drinking. I guess unless you've been doing the butt chug, which is a serious problem. Never butt chug. People die. Not a joke. Do not do suppository alcohol. Okay, it is seriously dangerous. You will get really sick and die. I heard about an alcoholic who had his wisdom teeth taken out or something like that. Some oral surgery he had, and he was bitching to his wife constantly about how he wanted her to just put the Jack Daniels in his butt and pour it in there, right? And he died from it. Wife was like, "Here, shut up, you. Don't butt chug, all right, boys? Just drink it normally. Alcohol tastes bad for a reason, all right? If you don't like it, don't drink it." I have to fish right now because it's raining. I just can't pass it up. It's too good. I know a guy. Yeah, I know a guy. I guess he did shut up. Yeah. I mean, he passed out afterwards, and his wife was like, "Well, there he goes. He's good." It's because you can absorb it so quickly. Man, I don't even like being intoxicated, honestly. I don't know why anybody does. I guess it's escapism, right? I like playing video games a lot, so I suppose everyone has their own escapism. People chew, yeah, basically instantly. People chew tinfoil for their escapism. Honestly, I think it's a good rule to not stick any food or drinks in your back door. If you were really dehydrated, if you were super dehydrated, I think that it is reasonable to have a suppository for as far as like an IV is concerned, because it is a highly effective way of hydrating someone, and hydration through drinking is too slow sometimes in cases of heat stroke or what's the next level after heat stroke? There's like heat stroke and something else. There's one above that. In basic training, we had lots of ish dead. It's right above that. No, I think there's like a more serious condition of heat stroke. Next level is death. I thought there was like some steps there. Man, someone might Google it and come back to me. But yeah, I mean, heat stroke was really bad, so you need to become hydrated instantly if you have heat stroke. Like if you're out in a hot day and you're not sweating anymore, you're probably there's probably some problems going on. So I've seen someone who's suffering from heat stroke, and what happened to them is that they fell down, they started having a seizure, and they like shaking really violently. They were not sweating at all. It was really hot outside, and what happened to their limbs is that it all curled up on them like this, and their legs came up to like they almost assumed the fetal position, and they were incapable. They were unreactive to any stimuli at all. They didn't react to pain. Have I ever had a seizure? Not as far as I know. They didn't react to pain. They didn't react to audio commands. AVPU didn't work on them at all. They were basically unconscious, but they were still moving. Their eyelids were, I mean, their eyes were still moving, like around. Who knows? AVPU. I can't remember what that stands for, but it's the procedure that you go through when you come up on a person who is downed or seemingly unconscious. It's like, crap, I can't remember what AVPU stands for. Hold on, let me Google it. AVPU. Okay, yeah, here we go. So AVPU, the A is the patient is awake. Okay, or so they would be in the A in the AVPU. Or V, the patient responds to verbal stimulation. Hey, are you okay? Hey, are you okay? Okay, P, the patient responds to painful stimulation, which is very often the chest rub. You take your knuckles here and you press them against their chest or their back. Pretty much anywhere you can come in contact a bone. No, you don't want to punch them. You don't want to punch them. But you can pinch them. That'd be fine. And you rub your knuckles on them. I don't care who the fuck it is. They're going to respond to that, okay? If they're capable of doing so. If your friend's faking it and they don't do the A, the V, and then you rub your knuckles on them, they're like, shit, fuck, what the hell? Yeah, okay, asshole. I was doing AVPU, okay? And then the patient, is completely unresponsive. And there's your AVPU. I couldn't remember what all those things are for, but probably if I came up on a person, I could do AVPU. Which, I mean, you're sort of naturally going to do AVPU anyway. The thing is, you don't want to take steps on a person who is conscious, because you do A and P, and you're like, hey, are you awake? Wait, and you touch them, they don't wake up, and then you do the pain test, and they're like, whoa, what's going on? Hey, I was just sleeping on the ground here. And they're like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to call 911. That's why AVPU is very effective. AVPU is part of triage, in fact. Like, if you're in a group, there's like 3 people who are downed, just laying there, you don't know why, you just walked up on there, and 2 of them are not responsive at all, and 1 is responsive, you should take care of the one who is responsive first. Maybe, depending on the situation. See if the person who's responsive can do things and get out of the situation, because probably there's a danger in the air, and that's why they're down. And then go to the guys who are not ambulatory, and then take care of them. First aid class is super important for everybody, in my opinion. You know what would be really nice? So I was looking into getting a ankle, I think almost like a ankle brace thing, but it's a medical kit that goes around your ankle. I've been really wanting to get one of those. I saw another guy, I think it was Mike the Cop, who has this. I want to say it was Mike the Cop, who has it for his daily getting an ankle. So it's like it's basically like a medical kit that you can just wrap around. Yeah, you know Mike the Cop, Zen? It was in his daily carry showcase. I want to have that, because I think that's even more important than concealed carry, honestly. Oh, you don't know Mike the Cop? I have an A-ring, yeah. Not talking about that kind of ring, okay? He just sounds badass. Well, he is a police officer who does a YouTube channel. You can find him at Mike the Cop. Probably Google that. You'll find him. Anyways, he has this carry, and he keeps a tourniquet. He keeps a chest wrap. He keeps some other stuff in there as well, just general medical stuff. And I think that's just as important as having a medical thing in your car, or a lot of people like to carry water in their car and stuff like that. Have I ever thought of becoming a cop? Yes. When I got out of the military, I was taking college for criminal justice, and then especially recently, basically people have been walking around killing police officers, and I'm not super interested in that life. Being a police officer in America is super fucking shitty. Officer Badger, hands up! I would not want to be a police officer at all. You're a snitch? Hell yeah, I'm a snitch, okay? I'm a snitch for so police officers are basically a gang, I would say. I would define them as a loosely organized gang of individuals who prosecute private citizens, illegal gang, yeah, based on state and federal law. But that's basically it. And everyone has their own training, and everyone's a little different, and each organization is a little bit different. They're effectively a group of boys who run around and kind of they got some toys and some cool cars and stuff like that, and they enforce some shit basically. Uh, so I would say it was a perfect switch from being in the military, which is a lethal gang of killers who vary from educated individuals to people who literally had no choice but to join the military or go to jail, which is a thing in the United States. You can be sentenced to military service for crimes. That's a thing. So I mean, it's an easy transition from that group to the other group, but I think that being a police officer is significantly more dangerous than being in the military, being an infantryman, because the job in the military is a bit more simplistic. When we encountered an enemy, shoot him to death. Meanwhile, if some guy's running at you with a knife in the United States and you shoot him, you might get in trouble. Which, yeah, just expectations of police officers are extreme in the U.S. right now. Well, I mean, they're really extreme everywhere, honestly. I take it back. Just how you're expected to handle situations is tough. I don't really want to do that. Make a simple mistake in a millisecond choice. You could just go to jail forever. I don't really want to do that. It seems spoopy to me. Okay, the rain is over. I'm not saying that. I mean, I joined the infantry. I'm not saying that I'm afraid of like putting myself in a tough situation. I just don't think that. Do I own a gun? Oh my God, guns are dangerous, man. I would. Shh. Owning a gun. Good Lord, you're gonna blow your own head off. That's what's. I mean, that's what's gonna happen, right? If you own a gun. Is this sarcasm? I feel like the butterfly meme. He's holding the thing, and it's like, is this sarcasm? Hey, Ixon, what's up, man? You secretly own 100 guns? Well, it is true that people who do own guns very often own more than one gun. That is true. I think that's a easily understandable statistic, because people who own model train sets, for example, more likely to own another model train set. People who own chess sets, much more likely to have their own chess sets. You own more than one safe, more likely to have an extra safe. You have a safe in the house. Probably you have more than one safe. I have multiple safes because mine are full. You mean like, are we talking piggy banks now in Terraria? Is that what's going on? Hey, Crow, what's up, man? I'm doing well. How you doing today? Is mine are full? Okay, Ox. Mine are full of guns. I would encourage anybody who has firearms not just walk around like, yo, oh, you know what? Actually, here's the thing that you don't do if you own a firearm. Fucking just take video of you pointing your gun at the camera. Don't do that. Don't take pictures of yourself with your gun often. Don't make that a common thing. Definitely don't take pictures of yourself with your gun out and pointing it at the camera or pointing it at stuff. I think that's disgusting. It's poor firearm ownership. If you do that, you should have your firearm taken away. Okay? It's just, yeah. An incite violence which would resort you to using your firearm? I don't know that someone who owns a firearm has more liability. Incite violence? What is inciting violence? Oh my God. Like if I'm at a gas station and gun selfie, no, please. If I'm at a gas station but how will people know you're cool without pics of you and your gun? Fuck. If I'm at a gas station and I'm talking to somebody and that conversation develops into an argument and that person attacks me and I use my firearm to defend myself, I wasn't liable because I was at the gas station and I owned a firearm. I don't take on more risk. I don't think I should be forced to take on more risk simply because I'm carrying my. Well, I mean, I have to have my license to carry my firearm. Obviously, if I'm breaking any laws in my state or any federal laws, then if my weapon is automatic, for example, which I'm not allowed to have because I'm a normal citizen, even though I have multiple years of military experience, I'm not allowed to have an automatic weapon. If I'm breaking any of those laws, then I am more liable, yes. But just getting in a conversation with someone, who knows what could happen if suddenly the conversation turns violent and, you know. As a normal citizen, I don't think it should be a requirement that I just don't go anywhere, basically. There was a circumstance in which a concealed carry owner in, I think it was Florida. I want to say Florida. I don't know why, just because everything's from Florida. Is this all good now? I thought there was a location where this was not jungle. Anyways, he was at a gas station, got into an argument with a woman who was parked in a handicap spot illegally. She wasn't handicapped. There was no handicap sticker or anything like that. She said, hey, you shouldn't be parked here. This is for handicapped people, people who are suffering from disabilities. And her boyfriend came out, pushed him to the ground in a kind of a surprise attack. He drew his firearm, fired at him one time, killed him, and that was that.